All right, Z Team, I am going to do a mod that a lot of people have asked about, and a few people have done. It's replacing this plastic insert with a authentic JDM rear fog light. So I've ordered the fog light. I got it from a company in Australia. I will post that in the description. Z1 also sells them. I found buying it out of country, even with shipping, was still about $100 cheaper than buying it from Z1. But I knew they do sell it. I got some red and black wire to run. I'm gonna make my own connector, pin connector here. Because I could not find, without buying the whole wiring harness, the connector that goes there. And then I've got some easy splice deals here, so you can just tap in directly to whatever light you want them connected to. I've got some shrink hose tubing kits because my storage or stock of these was getting low. And then I've had some wire cover for exterior. So I like to, if anything's going to be just have wire on it, I like to just make it look nice and OEM with the cover there. So I got some of that as well for different projects around the shop. So first is going to be to remove this old one, which it appears to be just a couple nuts here. I'm gonna remove these tabs here. Sorry for the light and the sound. I got the heater going because it's about 35 degrees outside. Let's see if I can put that there. So we got two tabs here. I'm gonna see if that's enough to kind of pull that up. If not, I may take this under pan down to get more access. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to take that under pan down regardless, because I'm gonna have to run the wire up and into the trunk. So I'm gonna remove that and I'll show you what everything looks like. All right, I removed that rear pan here. Mine was probably easier because I have an aftermarket exhaust. If you don't, I believe the old exhaust was around in here, so you probably have to drop that down to get better access or clearance into the trunk, which I believe is right just through there. I'm already seeing the wiring harness and everything in there. So I'm gonna get these two bolts removed right here and get that old one out. I'm gonna get the new one in along with wiring it, and then see where I can shoot up inside the hatch of the trunk. So once you take the two bolts out at the bottom and the top, there is these two little tabs that you'll have to clear out of here. Sorry again for the light. Yep, two right there. So they just pull down, so push down there, push up there, and it pops right out. That's the old one there. Just a cheap little plastic that's probably going straight to the bin, aka the garbage. But I did find what the brake was connected to, so anyone that's wanting to connect it to the brake light, which is really what it should be connected to, can use this. Anybody who's not, you probably just want to go through with a voltmeter and really check this harness here and see which one is like for daytime running lights. But I definitely wanted it to the brake lights. So I backtracked. You have to take basically the whole foam piece out. You set the subwoofer up there if you have one. You have to take this foam piece out, which is just attached with one grommet here, but this grommet is an absolute pain in the ass to get off. It takes a lot of force. So take that grommet out, and then you have to slowly pull the foam out from the center and then the side piece, and you can get to the wiring harness that goes to the rear tail light, the driver's side rear tail light. I checked the schematic, and that is for sure where the wire harness goes in and goes into a couple of different places. But one of the main places it connects to a connector, I think it's B27 or B37 in here. And the wire is white with a green stripe. I couldn't find this harness wire colors that go in here. I could only find the wire harness colors for the B37 plug. And I can tell you right now they are different, because I think what the guide is saying is that it is a violet wire with green light, but is actually a white wire. Let me see if I can focus in here. A white wire with a green stripe. So I put a T-tap on there. I'm gonna run it back up through here with some protection. I'm gonna zip tie it all along the back. I've got my ground plugged in here. I'm also gonna run that up and zip tie it. And then there is a plug grommet on the passenger side rear. I'm going to poke a little hole in and then run these wires down and through to the trunk, or not to the trunk, I'm sorry, down and through to the exterior rear of the car. I've already checked. This is the best routing place down there. I mean, I guess you could do it through the water release, but I kind of just want everything running on this harness, and there's already a harness running in here. So I think to me that makes the most sense. I also went on Amazon and I had some connector ordered in case it ever needs to, like the bumper needs to be removed. I connected those. Everything's been shrink wrapped, so it's nice and clean. And I'll be connecting that to my wires that come out before then mounting it down in there. So now it's really just a matter of getting this all cleaned up, zip tying it, using this protective deal stuff here, protect all the wires, interior and exterior, zip tying. And I did look into this harness here, so I did take the tape off of that. So I'm going to use some electrical tape to close that back up as well. And that's it. Put everything back in reverse. I didn't get a whole lot of footage of taking this out, so when I put it back in, I'll try to walk you through the pieces. It was pretty straightforward. You just pull out this mounting piece here. I believe this sat on top, or this on bottom, then this, and then it sat within here. So I'll get some more pictures as it goes back in. I was a little aggravated after not finding it last night, so I didn't get the most footage there. To get this panel off is an absolute pain in the ass as well. These grommets, I mean, look, that even bent a little bit. These grommets are like impossible to get off. You could try to go, they do make holes. You could try to go and push them through these holes to get them out, but or no, you can't, because it's never mind, it's over here. So you know, I used a grommet tool to help guide pop it this way, but they were an absolute pain in the ass. You can see here this one's bent a little bit too. They've been back, it's just thin metal, sheet metal. But yeah, this panel was the most pain in the ass panel I've ever pulled on a car. Which is why I didn't want to have to pull these guys, because they use the same mounting points. When I was taking everything off, I also popped a couple of these guys. So I'll be posting in the forum. I'm not exactly sure where these go. I'm kind of thinking they push, you pull this up, and you can just pull this up with your hand. If you pull this up, I'm kind of thinking that they sit in there like this, and they help push against the panel here. That's really the only place. There's two little like indentions, and I'm thinking that's where they probably sit in like this. That's what I'm thinking they went in, but I'm not exactly positive. I don't see any others when I look at this thing here, so I can't see it. Like literally as soon as I pulled this up, these two popped out in the air. So I need to figure out where those go. they're not broken, they just popped out from wherever they were housed. So yeah, so I'll do some cleanup and then I'll show you guys how everything goes back together, which will be the same way you want to take it apart. But this will be the official install. A couple of people have done it, no one's documented it. This will be the official install for the rear fog light, and hopefully it makes everyone's life a little easier. All right, so wrapping up the third brake light install. I've got it popped in there, got the nuts on the back. I need to zip tie up some routing there for where it drops down. But just to show you guys here, so again, tapped into that white and green wire. I did a T-tap there. I've cleaned up all the wires, zip tied the new routing lines here. Here's my negative that I attached to. And then I've dropped it down in here. You could drop it down in here. I didn't know if there'd be a lot of wear back and forth. This would actually probably be an easier spot, but I just chose to go through here. So I think it's just preference. And now I just need to put everything back. There it is, routing through there. I just zip tied it up above back there and then ran it through here. One mention is the JDM fog light needs a nut. It's not a bolt or a screw. So I borrowed two from up here, and I have two other washer head style ones that I replaced those with. So I've got two washer head style and then two of the original. It's underneath the car, so aesthetically I don't really care. It works, and this is all together. So I'll finish buttoning up the trunk, and that will be it. So here's a little video here of the install back there, so you know the orientation. This guy here is an absolute pain in the ass. You kind of just got to keep working it and bumping it from here to get it back over into the corner. And then there's two little caps in there, and in there those plastic caps go back on, and that's it for the floor. I'm gonna put this panel on again for you guys. This panel was an absolute pain in the ass to remove. I would suggest making sure you definitely have some kind of trim removal tool, because if you just try to do this by hand, you are going to break these clips, and you might even break the plastic on the top of the interior. They're so stuck in there. If anyone has a video on how to better remove those style of clips, let me know, because I'm sure other panels have the same. I talked to a professional audio and car alarm installer, and he says, yeah, these new clips are almost impossible to take out without breaking them. So I'm happy that I didn't have any catastrophic breaks or anything like that, but I'm gonna get everything else put back in because we are done.